am Melinda Akinlami. Tonight, PDP candidate in the 2018 Osun State governorship election, Ademola Adeleke, taken into police custody hours after court granted him permission to travel abroad for medical treatment. President of the United Nations General Assembly arrives in the nation's capital Abuja for a 3-day visit to discuss handover to Nigeria of the 74th UNGA presidency, amongst other issues. Immediate past Vice President of Sierra Leone, Sam Sumana, challenges politicians in Nigeria to respect their contract with the citizens and focus on building a strong and formidable country. And over 50 people killed after a fuel tanker overturned and exploded near the airport in Niger's capital, Niamey.
On business news tonight, Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele launches distribution of high-yielding cotton seeds to farmers with a view to resuscitating Nigeria's cotton and textile industry.
On sports news tonight, it's now down to 8 schools as the quest to qualify for the Channel's International Kids Cup intensifies.
And from Abuja, Minister of Defense blames poor defense management in Nigeria on the absence of a military-industrial complex in the country.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, is in police custody in connection with an ongoing criminal investigation touching on his person. Senator Adeleke's detention comes barely hours after the Federal High Court granted him leave to travel abroad for medical treatment. Senator Adeleke had visited the force headquarters this morning but was not attended to until later this afternoon when he was informed of fresh charges of testimonial forgery. The distinguished senator was thereafter taken to Maitama Police Station and will be arraigned at the Mbappe Magistrate Court tomorrow. The lawmaker had earlier obtained a restraining order stopping the police from arresting and detaining him, but that the police has kept him in custody. Senator Adeleke is currently standing trial on allegation of falsifying his first school leaving certificate and has been slated to continue on May the 10th at the Federal High Court, where he was charged. In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has described the arrest and detention of Senator Adeleke as a direct act of violence against the nation's laws, the institution of the judiciary, and the 1999 Constitution as amended. The PDP is alleging that the police arrested Senator Ademola on the guise of an invitation, despite the direct orders of the Federal High Court restraining it or its agents from arresting and detaining him on account of a statement of result and testimonial duly issued by the Ede Muslim Grammar School, Ede, pending the determination of the originating summons before the court. The PDP insists that any arraignment of Senator Adeleke in a magistrate court for a matter that is already being heard by the Federal High Court is a calculated plot to cause crisis in the judiciary and create unnecessary controversy as a pathway to truncate the course of justice in the case. The party is thereafter demanding the immediate and unconditional release of Senator Adeleke by the police, as the party claims that there are plots to poison him in detention. The United Nations aircraft arriving at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, ushering the arrival of the President of the United Nations General Assembly, Mrs. Maria Espinosa Garces, who is in the country on an official visit. She will be meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa Abuja and also attending a seminar at the University of Abuja, where she will present a paper titled Responding to Global Challenges in a Fast-Changing World. As part of our itinerary, Mrs. Garces will hold discussions with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Jeffrey Onyema, tomorrow over Nigeria's transition to the 74th presidency of the General Assembly. She is also expected to attend an interactive session with women at the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, and she will be leaving the nation's capital on Wednesday, that's May the 8th.
It is an honor for me to meet ministers, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, but of course the President of this beautiful country, and strengthen the relationships between the United Nations and Nigeria. This is very timely, especially considering that the next President of the General Assembly is going to be Nigeria. So we are starting to prepare for the handover. We are in the midst of a transition, and it's going to be a great honor for me to meet authorities and the President of this country. Basically, we are going to discuss the main challenges of Nigeria and the need to address the issue of peace and security together with the challenges of development and environmental protection. And I think that Nigeria has shown a great example and leadership in putting together these three factors: climate change, environmental protection, development, and peace and security.
So when are we expecting the change of baton to that Nigerian?
Well, this is going to happen officially in September, but the election is going to take place in June in New York. But the Nigerian government has taken this very seriously, and we are starting the transition process. And I'm delighted. When I was elected President of the General Assembly, I promised to give special attention to Africa. This is my second travel to Africa, and I hope more will continue until the end of my tenure. Africa is at the forefront of the future of development, of the future of climate change action, and my presence here is a show of how much Africa is important to the United Nations.
Thank you.
The immediate past Vice President of Sierra Leone, Mr. Sam Sumana, is calling on Nigerian politicians to unite in order to build a strong and formidable country that everyone will be proud of. The former Vice President of that country attributes the underdevelopment of Africa to political dictators and oppressors, and he wants politicians to respect their moral and social contract with the people whose votes ensure their victory at the polls. He was speaking at a roundtable on the 2019 general elections organized by the Center for Transparency Advocacy and chairman of Nigeria political parties in the nation's capital, Abuja.
2019 general elections may have come and gone, but representatives of 75 political parties are gathered in this hall to review the elections.
University of Ibadan.
The chairman of the event speaks on the essence of the roundtable.
It's a good thing that these key stakeholders are reflecting on what they did or what they failed to do during that electoral process. That we as scholars pay specific attention to what's going on.
The acting executive director of the Center for Transparency Advocacy and the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council shared their thoughts on the general elections.
I remind us at this juncture that INEC, as the umpire of the general elections, proved quite independent in the way and manner it responded to the unexpected challenges thrown its way by stakeholders in the process and other unforeseen circumstances during the last general election.
Courageous decision taken by his leadership during the conduct of the election in Bauchi, Rivers, Oyo, Adama, and to mention just a few, manifestly shown the intention of the commission to lead by him to do the right thing, despite the daunting challenges.
We need to see Africa transform.
The special guest of honor and immediate vice president of Sierra Leone advocates the need for politicians to avoid becoming dictators.
In Nigeria today, I see diversity, and the numerous diversity in culture. We all agree and come together as a country. But also I appeal to all of us here today. Let us also have as we have that diversity in political platforms, we agree to come together to build one Nigeria, a country that Africa is proud of.
At the end of the roundtable, the chairman of the organizing committee presents the communique.
The roundtable condemned the unpatriotic and desperate ambition of certain politicians. The roundtable commended INEC for maintaining an open, transparent communication of our plans and programs and her involvement of other stakeholders in expressing the stages of implementation of the 2019 electoral design.
This roundtable is aimed at ensuring a more credible electoral process come 2023.
In Borno State, community recovery and reconciliation programs are currently being undertaken in Maiduguri to ensure peace-building conversations. And this follows the graduation of hundreds of former Boko Haram soldiers radicalized under the Nigerian Army's Operation Safe Corridor. But some of the repentant militants are facing difficulties in being accepted by their community.
Gamboru Ngala local government area, the border town in Borno State, is one of the communities sacked by terrorists in the wake of the Boko Haram insurgency. It is now a shadow of itself. Gamboru was reclaimed in September 2015 with the hoisting of the Nigerian flag to the delight of thousands of displaced locals who had been seeking refuge in Cameroon. Now they're back in their village, but not in their homes yet. They have to take shelter in this makeshift camp where their safety is guaranteed. Bashir and Adawo are two repentant militants who fought against government forces 4 years ago in the operation that led to the fall of their village.
It was when I heard that our people have returned to town, then I went and surrendered to the military. Truly, I have forsaken my old ways. I am now living a new life. Please explain that to them. They should not be afraid of me. They shouldn't suspect me with anything. I have now been well trained on the right path.
Not for once have I been stigmatized because I play football with friends, and I even go to Photocall in Cameroon to play, and I didn't have problems with anyone. But people have different perception of things. Some will leave everything to God. Another may not see it that way. But unless we live in a way that people can come back and stay in peace, the fighting and bitterness will not bring peace. I think we should all leave everything to God.
The community leaders are at the vanguard of the reintegration and the peace-building process.
Nobody would love to pick a weapon and kill his brother. It's not possible. But when it is destined, it can happen. Our hope is for them to let us know what they are upset about. Let the governments know too, so that we can reconcile and live in peace.
But some of the repentant militants are not so lucky in other parts of the state. Their kinsmen have refused to accept them back in their fold, a situation which analysts have tried to make sense of.
The government must find a way of bringing these two parties together. Bringing the Boko Haram, the victims, or their families where the victims are no longer living. Find a way of appealing to them. It is only when this is done that there will be final forgiveness. The forgiveness will be in total.
To foster reconciliation and ease the recovery process, some groups, including the Borno Emirate Council, are initiating conversations among youths to drive the healing process.
The peace rally is to bring people together, particularly youth and children, and also women, to come together and support the process of peace building.
For Operation Safe Corridor to be successful, the government would have to do more than just de-radicalizing the former fighters and ensuring their reintegration into the society.
And staying with security matters, the Nigerian Army says it's not letting its guard down at ensuring that the spate of kidnapping and other crimes are nipped in the bud, especially in states where there have been serious cases of kidnapping and armed banditry. Today, the Army banned the use of motorcycles within the forest areas of 7 states in the northwest and north central. The affected states are Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto and Zamfara in the northwest, as well as Niger State in the north central. In a statement, the Acting Director of Army Public Relations, Colonel Sagil Musa, affirms that the affected states are those covered by the ongoing Army security crackdown on crime, codenamed Habin Kunama. According to Colonel Musa, the decision is informed by the Army's observation of the use of motorcycles by bandits, kidnappers, criminal elements and their collaborators as enablers to perpetrate their heinous crimes. The Army spokesperson warns that anyone caught using motorcycles within the named areas will be taken as a criminal and there will be dire consequences. He explains that while the motorcycle ban within the hinterlands, especially around the forest areas, may cause some inconveniences to law-abiding citizens, it is necessary to stop the activities of all criminals by all means. The statement appeals to the governments of the affected states to disseminate and enforce the ban in the named areas in collaboration with security agencies. And when the news at 10 returns, gunmen abduct a professor of the Obafemi Awolowo University on the Ife-Ibadan Expressway while returning from Lagos. That's in a moment. Join us again.